Hello, guys. I'm Amy with Lily Bean Designs. Welcome and happy Father's Day. I hope you guys have had a wonderful and relaxing Father's Day, and the dads in your lives got something special today. Hope everybody is doing well. If you are joining me, come on in and say hey and tell me what's going on today and tell me where you're watching from and all of that. I cleaned my craft table off a little bit today, so it looks better than it did, right? I need a razor blade because all of this is where paint stuck to glue, and I need to scrape this glue off. And someone told me about a product that would dissolve the glue, and somebody told me about something that I could put on the glue that would be like a household product. I don't remember if it was vinegar. Hey, Donna. Hey, Penny. How are y'all doing? Watching from Ohio. So funny thing about Ohio, my husband and I were just talking, and I was just scrolling my Facebook feed, and this is my Facebook feed like on the business side of things, because the way they do it is if you have a business, it's kind of like a separate feed from your personal feed. And I told my husband, because I follow a lot of southern, like Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi groups that post stuff like about food festivals and things like that, because we love to go to those. And something popped up on my feed today about a pork rind something festival, and I assumed that it was from somewhere down here, because that just sounded like something that they would have down here, but it wasn't. It was from Ohio. So I thought that was pretty funny, because I told my husband, I was like, oh, a pork rind festival. And he got all excited, and then I realized it was Ohio. So nowhere near where I am. Are you familiar with the Pork Rind Festival? I'm not sure where in Ohio it is. And Tammy says she's watching from Michigan. All right, so I am painting a door hanger this evening, and I'm doing my little faux staining thing that I've done a few times this week already, where I'm mixing dark chocolate and gray sky, and we're just achieving like sort of a washed out, beachy, bleached barnwood-ish kind of effect that I'm really loving. And if it looks a little too gray, then I go back and I dab a little brown and I smear it in, and I just kind of keep going until I get the color that I'm looking for. And I get a little variation in there, because y'all know I can't stand just to have like one color. I've got to have like some color blending or something. That's part of, as my painting skills have evolved, I've just come to kind of appreciate, color blending and just doing kind of something to give the colors a little bit of a pop. Plus, when you do that, when you do some highlights and blending and things, it draws the eye away from the imperfections in your work. So if you're worried about every little thing being perfect, just doing a little like ombre effect or some black or white or maybe a little bit of both highlights really does help to draw the attention away from it. There is a pork festival near me that happens in September. I don't know if it's that one. It specifically said Pork Rind Founders, Pork Rind something festival. But anyway, I thought it sounded like something my husband would want to go to. So he was kind of excited, and I was like, oh, nope, it's not down here anywhere near us. So I'm just doing this with a baby wipe. Any old baby wipe will do. Y'all ask me sometimes what baby wipes I use. To be honest, this brand is not really the best. It's Huggies. It's just a pack that I got at the grocery store a while back. I did have a whole box of wipes that came from Amazon. It was just like the Amazon brand that lasted me a long time until I finally ran out. And I probably need to order some more of those, because those were good wipes. They didn't They didn't fall apart as bad, and they didn't leave like little fuzzies on my paint like these do. But I'm just, I'm working my way through this pack. So, and they're also good for just keeping your hands, wiping paint off your hands when you're painting, because I always get paint all over my hands when I'm painting. Okay, so this is, it's always a little hard to tell. It looks like there's some inconsistencies in the color on the screen, which is just kind of weird because I don't really see that in person. It makes me want to fix it, but when I look at it in person, I don't really see it. Maybe like it's just the way the light is shining on it. Like it's a little more faded down on the side. I think it might just be the light coming in the window. Hey, Connie, I'm going to check on my mom in a week. We're going home, and I'm going to go check on her. She's doing a little bit better. She's still got a lot of mobility issues. She's getting her home health and her therapy and all of that. So, we have our fingers crossed that things will keep on improving for her. But thank you for checking. That's so sweet of you. All right, so let me get some of this gray paint. I have had gray and brown paint all over my fingernails all week from doing this faux finish. Okay, so we're done with this. Now, this is a different shape backer. I do a lot of round door hangers. Let me do my little thing here where y'all can see. Okay, so there you go. You can see the entire shape. All right, so if you get this file, this is a bonus file for next week, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But if you qualify for this bonus file by joining SVG Clubhouse next week, or if you're already a member and you get this file next week, you will also get the split version, which just means that I'm going to cut one out this week. Let me show you, I'm going to show you a round one right now that I have that will help you understand. But basically, when I have a shiplap sign like this, this is wider than the 12 inches that fits in the low forge bed. So, or taller, I guess I should say. So you would need, if you don't have a pass-through door, you would need to cut this in two pieces if you want to cut this backer, right? So what I give you in the file is an option where it's cut along one of these lines. And you put it together and it doesn't show because the line, the shiplap line hides it. And then there's a fastener piece for the back. So I actually have a round one. I don't have one this shape, but I have a round one. It's not painted. Let me grab it. I saw it over here in my stack. So I can show you guys an example. Okay, so this is the round shiplap. So as you can see, it is split along the line. Now this board was cut a while back. It looks like it's a little warped now, but it's just been over here in my stack, so don't mind that. But anyway, see how when you put it together, you can't see the split? And then what I would do is I would put a bead of glue along here, okay? But when you do that, when you put it together upside down. And I know some of y'all just prefer to buy your backers, but for this shaped one, obviously, you can't buy a backer that's shaped necessarily. So, and some of these are smaller than others. You don't need one necessarily this big. This is just one that I had laying around. It's actually meant for a bigger sign, but this is one of the fasteners. So I would probably do it this way so that the breaks are not lined up, the cuts are not lined up. And then I would just fasten it back here. And then you also, I don't have the circle that cut out here with, in my craft room to grab, but you could put the circle in here too that cuts out in the middle, and you just glue all this down. And that holds it all in place. And I would probably just do this the day before I plan on painting the door hanger. Now, yes, this uses a lot of wood, okay? And like I said, this is an 18-inch door hanger. You don't need one this big. You can do one that's more like a little bit smaller than this. But I give you all of this in the file. I give you the fastener, the split version of the backer, all of that, so that you have the option of doing that to be able to make a full-size sign instead of having to make like an itty-bitty one. Okay, so just so y'all know that that is in the file, if you're wondering what that folder is in your file. Okay, so what this sign is Santa and Mrs. Claus have gone to the beach, and they are hanging their bathing suits out on the line, flip-flops, hats, and all. So we have all of our little swimsuits here, okay, that we get to paint. So that's going to be super fun. And then the lettering on here, instead of saying, baby, it's cold outside, because we did a version back, I'm trying to remember when I did it. I think I did it last fall when we opened the doors to new members. We made a baby, it's cold outside file that was also a bonus file. And it was a snowman had hung his little clothes out on the line. So, shoot, I wish I had a picture that I could pull up if I could remember. I want to show y'all that one. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can just quickly grab the picture of. I'm trying to think if I have it laying over here. I don't. I took it home to give to somebody. That was 2022 bonus, October bonus. Hold on, y'all. I think I can pull it up. Here it is. Let me drag it onto my desktop, and then I can pull it up. It's an overlay. This is one thing I love about StreamYard, that it gives you the capability to do this. Come on. Unless it's being slow. All right, it's uploading. Bear with me for a second. Okay, so this is the door hanger we made back in October. This was a bonus file. So, baby, it's cold outside, and the snowman has all his little, clothes and things, little accessories, so to speak, hanging on the line. So we are doing a Christmas in July version of that today. All right, so we're going to start painting these. I'm going to actually do, this one is going to look very similar to the one that we did for the shelf sitter the other day. So, because I thought that was so cute with the aqua kind of background. So I'm going to use my Posca pen. And this is the Posca pen that matches really well with the Seabreeze paint color that I love to use. This is the Seabreeze Deco Art, if you are new and you don't know that that's my favorite color. Tammy, the group actually does not open tomorrow. It opens Tuesday. She's talking about SVG Clubhouse. So let me rewind here for a minute. And I mentioned that this is a bonus file. So what I mean, if you're not familiar with our club, our SVG Clubhouse is opening its doors to new members on Tuesday. And we only open the doors and accept new members a few times a year. And we are open from from this coming Tuesday, so the day after tomorrow. We are open from Tuesday through Sunday. We close the doors Sunday at midnight. And if you join on the first day that we open on Tuesday, you get 4 bonus files. If you wait until Wednesday, one of the bonus files goes away. And you only get 3, which of course means that Thursday you would get 2 and Friday you would get 1. So what you are going to want to do is, if you want to join for sure on day 1, which is Tuesday. If you want to get on the waiting list and be sure that you get the email when the doors open, then please go. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, svgclubhouse.com. And right now, that will take you to the link to get on the waiting list, which means you'll get an email on Tuesday morning when we open, so that you don't forget and you don't miss getting all the bonuses, okay? Because they are super fun. So this is bonus number 4. So far we have made a door hanger, a shelf sitter set, and I'll pull pictures of those up in just a minute, a shaker frame, and then finally this door hanger. So this one is available as long as you join by Friday. Definitely join the first day because you're going to want the other files too. I think I did that already. Okay, good. Well, then you should get the email. The group opens first thing in the morning. I usually try to have the doors open by 7 a.m. my time, which is like 6 a.m. No, I'm sorry. That's 8 a.m. Eastern time. So 8 a.m. Eastern time. This Posca pen is called, I don't know why it's called this. It's called pea green. Not pea like the vegetable, pea like just the letter P, pea green. And again, it's not green. It's definitely aqua or teal or Tiffany blue. What was the other thing that we called this color the other day? Not Tiffany blue. Robin's egg blue. It's like a robin. Well, robin's egg blue is actually probably a little lighter. But this is more of a Tiffany blue. You are so welcome. Okay, so I'm also going to see really quick, and I apologize I didn't pull these pictures up before I went live, so I would have them to show y'all. So hang tight just a minute. I should have pictures in here of the other files that we have made. This week. All right, there's the door hanger, and I just need the shelf sitter. There's the shelf sitter. Here it is. All right. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold that thought, and I'll pull up the other projects. Now, if you missed the videos, the last 3 videos that we did for the other bonus projects, I'm going to pull those up right now and show them to you. So the first night, we made this door hanger, Merry Beachmas. So our theme for the bonus files is Christmas in July. So we made our Merry Beachmas door hanger, and we glittered the bottom, and we used some puffy paint for accents. So that was really fun. And we did kind of an ombre paint technique for the backer. So this is the file that will be available, only be available day 1. And then we did the shelf sitter. So this is the Christmas, well, the beachy little Christmas shelf sitter. We made this the next day. And then on the 3rd day, we made the shaker file. So this is I think I can do a video clip for y'all. This is the shaker. Can I pull up the video on here? This is going to be interesting. Y'all are being so patient with me tonight. I apologize. Hold on. No, it doesn't look like it's going to let me do it like while I'm live, I guess, to show you how it works with the shaker. But the little sequins inside, you move it around, and they are loose in there and they move around. So we have a piece of clear acetate on the front that holds the sequins inside. So that is our other file, our shaker file that you get if you join by, what is that day? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Okay. So those are our bonuses. And Thank you, Penny. She says you will want all the bonus files. Tammy, I'm in Louisiana right now, but we are from Virginia and we go back and forth every couple months. We just decided as our kids got older and graduated that we were going to travel a little bit and do some different things. And my husband loves Gulf Coast fishing. And we came down here and we fell in love with the area and the people. And it's been an adventure for us. And we've just had a ball doing it. So we've been down in Louisiana for since last September, off and on. And we are, this trip, we've been here probably 2 months, maybe about 2 months, and we're heading home. We are heading home because we have, I want to go see my mom and visit her, and then there is a 4th of July celebration parade and all of that we do at my in-laws' river house that we don't want to miss because that's really fun with all our neighbors up there. So we're heading home for that, and we have a laser in both locations, so we're able to work from both locations. So we're very fortunate that we're able to pull that off. It's been a crazy, crazy year, and it's been a whole lot of work to set this crazy life up, but we are loving it. But it is definitely, it's been challenging for many reasons. Back from vacation. It says Facebook user, I can't see your name, so I don't know who is back from vacation, but welcome back. I hope you had a relaxing vacation. That sounds wonderful. Alrighty, so we are now going to do the little Christmas trees on here. There's our green. You know, and these take a little bit of time to do, but they're super fun and worth it. These little clothes. Now, this color green, if you're new to watching my videos, then just know that when you see me using a Posca pen, it may not be the color that it looks like because I dip my Posca pens in other colors. I know, that's just insane. I promise you, they go back to the original colors. It doesn't ruin them. It just enables me to paint with a small tip. I do have the fine tip Posca pens, but as I always say, I prefer the medium ones. They're juicier. So I just dip them. So this is the light green, I think. Yeah, light green. But I'm dipping it in Deco Art's Irish Moss. Okay, so let's go over what is included in the club membership for those of you who are new. Comment and say hello if you're new, and tell me if you have not heard of SVG Clubhouse before. And then if you're not new, or if you're in the club, please comment and tell me you're in the club. So our SVG Clubhouse is for laser owners, and it is a membership group where you get 4 new exclusive files every month. And they are not sold in my Etsy shop or anywhere else for at least a year, usually a lot longer than a year. So they're exclusive to the group. You can't get them outside the group. You also get 50% off of all my files all the time. So if you are a regular purchaser of files from our shop, then the Clubhouse is a great deal because it's only $17 a month, but then you get 50% off all the files all the time. So you don't want to, I'm sorry, I can't talk. So you don't have to wait for sale prices. You also get, there's some other perks that you get. So every month when you get your files, when you get your new bundle in your email, you get the photos, the marketing photos for all the projects. So you get the blank and finished photos that you are allowed to use to sell your products, or to gauge interest to your customers if you are selling or doing parties or kits or what have you. So you have commercial rights to those files and pictures. I also give you a detailed supply list each month of all of the supplies, paint colors, anything that we used in any of the projects. So if we used ribbon, glue, twine, wire, beads, paint pens, I'm trying to think what else, what other supplies we would use, puffy paint. Oh gosh, we've done some things with sequins and different types of fillers and things like that. All of those, I give you a list of the colors and links of where to purchase them, so you don't have to go like hunting them down. And you also get to be a member of our Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group that you get to join, and you can ask questions in there. You can share pictures. You can get some troubleshooting tips for using your laser on your projects. Ask questions. It's a wonderful community of laser crafters who are not judgy, very supportive, very, very kind. We have no drama in our group whatsoever, and I absolutely love that. So, oh, and if you join the annual membership, then you only pay 11 months. You get a month free, so you can join annually. I'm trying not to sneeze. The marketing photos on your Facebook pages, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying not to sneeze. And your Squarespace websites. Yes, that's totally fine. Penny says she's a club member since February. Sandra says the Clubhouse is the greatest. Tammy, you are new, so you said you're on the list. That is very exciting. We have some really fun stuff in store. I'm going to be painting, so the files for June are patriotic files. So in addition to getting the 4 bonus files, you also get the June files. And then on July 1st, you get the July files. So really within a span of about, what is that, 10 or 11 days, a week and a half or so, you get 12 files. That's a pretty good deal. So our June files are patriotic files, and I'm going to be painting those live this week, starting on Tuesday. And one of my club members actually painted the June files for this month, and I'm going to be painting them this week, so you'll get 2 different sets of photos for those files. And I'm going to use a little bit of a different color scheme than she did, so they look different and you have just a couple different pictures to pull from. So that'll be fun. We also do a live paint party each month. And now this month, we're not doing the live paint party because, well, we're technically doing 4 live paint parties because I'm painting all 4 projects live for the club opening. But normally we do I'm going to paint these candy canes white because then I'm going to go over them with red. I'm actually going to get my bigger white pen out. So yeah, I'm going to paint all 4 projects live. My white might finally be running out. No, we still got some in there. Now we are going for Santa having a beachy vintage Christmas vibe here with the color scheme. So, all right, and oh, and you know what I didn't do? I'm going to paint back here because I've got a piece that layers on top, and I want to make sure Yep, but that's the color that you see behind it. Okay, so these are the trim pieces for his shirt. Julia, it's $17 a month, and if you join the annual membership, then you save 1 month a year, so you only pay for 11 months instead of 12. And we do all different kinds of files each month. So we've branched out a little bit. We used to do, every month we would do a door hanger, a tiered tray, a shaker, and then one other miscellaneous file that was just something else. It could be another door hanger. It could be a banner, an ornament, a tag, lots of different things. But we've branched out because I did a poll in the group and I asked, are you guys using tiered trays? Are you using the shakers? Like what do you want? So I try to poll in the group a couple times a year and just ask, like, where are we at with what you guys like? So people wanted more variety with different types of files. So now we're rolling in lots of different things. So we're doing some shelf sitters. We're doing some of the sandwich boards, the little market stands. So if you are a regular purchaser of my files and you know what the sandwich boards, the interchangeable sandwich boards, and the interchangeable market stands are, then you get exclusive ones that are not sold in my Etsy shop when you join. Okay, we are going to paint, let's see, we're going to paint Mrs. Claus's little polka dot suit here red. And then once you get into the group, if we ever increase the price, then you are locked in so that there's no additional price increase as long as you are an active member of the group. So as long as you remain a member and don't leave the group, then any price increases that we have in the future, you will be locked in at the rate when you joined. We briefly last year talked about having t-shirts made for the club, and life got away from me and we were moving and it never happened. And I would love for that to come to fruition this year. So if anybody knows someone who does t-shirts, now I probably don't want to do, the heat press thing. I used to sell t-shirts that I made with my heat press, but we're looking at a little bit of a bigger scale, and I need to find someone who prints t-shirts, and I have not done any research on it recently. So if you know of a company that does custom t-shirts, please let me know. And did you guys see our new logo on our Facebook ads? We have a new logo for the club that we're going to put on our shirts. Do you seal your projects once you finish painting, gluing it all together? Okay, so I only seal things that are going to hang outside. And if it's for my own house, and I have had a covered porch for the past 20 years. I still have a covered porch in both of my locations. So, and I change my door hangers out a lot because I'm always painting door hangers. So I don't seal my own. But if I was selling them, then absolutely I would seal them. or if I was making one for a friend or a family member who I knew needed it sealed because of where it would be hanging. So I use Rust-Oleum clear lacquer, and I do 3 coats. Outside, of course, you have to, spray that stuff outside. Now, I'm not doing more than 1 coat of red on here, y'all, because I want this to look a little beachy and faded. So I'm just kind of going around touching up. And also talking about spraying, if it's going to be out in the elements, and the elements are pretty harsh, and it's going to definitely get some rain on it, I would spray the back as well. All right, we'll let that dry, and then we'll go back and do the white on there, and then let's do a hat. And this red is Deco Art True Red. They also have a Santa red that is really nice. All right, so for our shoes, let's see here. For our shoes, I'm going to paint white, and then I'm going to do some red and green stripes once I have a nice white background. You are very welcome. Yeah, if they're going to be hanging outside, I would spray them. As you can see, everything is scored on here for you. So I know these are kind of, should move the camera down a little bit. Sorry, y'all. Move the camera down some so y'all can see better. Maybe not that close. But don't let me forget, like if I start doing a bigger design and you need me to zoom back out and I don't, please comment and remind me, because sometimes I don't realize that the camera is not zoomed appropriately. I get distracted painting. What was I going to tell y'all? So everything's scored for you on these files. You always get the split backers, so you can cut a full-size door hanger without a pass-through door. Everything is Glowforge ready. Drop and go. Open the app, open the file. It's done. It's all sized for Glowforge. You don't have to move pieces around. Everything, even though I have a Thunder laser, I make all my files Glowforge sized so that, you can just load your 12 by 20 sheet in there and go. All of my door hanger backers have holes, 2 holes at the top. You can certainly just tell your machine to ignore those holes if you don't want them, if you prefer to like staple twine or something like that for your hanger. But I like to do wire and beads on my hangers a lot, so I put holes in my backers. And I'm a door hanger girl from way back. I love my door hangers. That's my favorite thing to paint. Although I fell in love with that shaker that I just made the other day, and I was like, I think my love of shakers has been renewed, and I'm going to have to definitely make some fun shakers. So I am working on that right now in my brain. It's keeping me awake at night. Yeah, so, all right. I'm going to move back over here to this shirt because we're going to do some more details on here. We just bought a second home in Florida and we're spending Christmas there, so I have to paint this. Oh, Tabitha, that's exciting. Florida is amazing. Every time I've been to Florida, it's been absolutely beautiful. I'm taking a chip brush and a little bit of white paint on my chip brush. These are just cheapy little chip brushes. Sorry, it's shedding. That you can get at Lowe's, Walmart, probably the Dollar Tree, definitely Amazon, because I get them in a big box from Amazon because I love some Amazon. And I might have wiped too much off. There we go. So I'm taking my, I wiped a little too much off. It's okay. Taking my dry brush, not any water on here, definitely, guys. There we go. And just distressing this red because we want his shirt to look old and weathered. We're going for this vintage beach vibe here. Y'all, I just like, as I'm painting, I'm getting ideas. So what about a door hanger? Okay, what about a door hanger that has it's a Christmas in July, because I'm on the Christmas in July thing right now. I'm sorry if y'all aren't into that. That's just kind of where my brain's been with these files, and I'm kind of in love with the like aqua and red vintage kind of look. What about a door hanger that has Santa's sleigh filled with like beachy things, surfboards and floats and like maybe like a palm tree or I don't know, something like that. What do y'all think? I think that would be so fun. Is that a hair? That is a hair. Oh no, it's a bristle from my brush. Okay, so we don't want to distress that quite yet. Let me do my stripes on my candy canes. And for that, I'm going to use this little bitty. You would make that for your friend? Okay, the wheels are turning. Okay, so this is called a Neotop. See the brand? Neotop mini, not mini. Fine tip, super fine, very fine, whatever you want to call it. Marker, you get these on Amazon. This extra fine point is what it says, okay? And I'm going to use this to do some, hopefully my candy canes are dry. My white is dry enough. I'm going to do some candy cane stripes. I love these extra fine tip markers. They are very inky. They have really good coverage. They've been great. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and glue the accent pieces. If anyone deserves a vacation, it's Santa. That is so true. Santa deserves a break. And I am not normally I'm not normally a Christmas in July person. Like I'm not normally like wanting to make Christmas stuff in the middle of summer, but I don't know. I just sort of I fell in love with these and I went with it. And sometimes you just, when you create, you know how you just get inspired sometimes and you can't stop with the theme that you have. Okay, I'm looking over at the other shirt and I'm seeing what else we did to it to kind of, because I liked how that one turned out, the one for the shelf sitter. All right, I've got an itty bitty tiny little brush. These brushes are just cheapy brushes I got at Walmart the other day because I really needed brushes and I was there and I just grabbed them. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of do some accents. his shirt. So that is his little tropical shirt, and it is all finished. Okay, so I'm debating something here. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to distress this bathing suit. I know I haven't done the white dots yet, but we're going to do puffy paint. Because we want her bathing suit to also look vintage. Okay, this is Tulip Slick White Dimensional Fabric Paint. You can get this at most craft stores. They do sell multi-packs. However, sorry, my little tip is kind of clogged here. But I like these big ones better because they have a fine tip. I don't usually use puffy paint on polka dots that are this big, but I love the contrast when you're using red because it's kind of hard to get your white to really look good against the red sometimes. And I love that puffy paint just pops against red. But you do need to let it dry for a while. I usually let it sit overnight. Just kind of do the outline and then fill it in. The slick and the non-slick. Honestly, I don't know. I've only used the slick. Is the non-slick maybe not shiny when it dries? That could be the difference. I'm not sure. But I prefer the shiny. So before I used to make door hangers, I ordered a door hanger from a girl on Etsy. I don't remember the company, or I would tell you what company it was. It was a beautiful door hanger. It was for my niece who got into Alabama, and it was an adorable door hanger that this lady made. And she used dimensional paint on there. And I just had not seen that used before. And so I emailed her and I said, please tell me what you used. This is so cute. And she said she used this Tulip Slick. Mostly I use black, white, and red. I find that those are the three colors that I need the most with the puffy paint. And mostly the red is for berries at Christmas time. That's just my most common thing that I use those colors for, if that helps. But I definitely want to start working on some Halloween shakers. I probably should have puffy painted these too. I still could. That would be cute. I might still do that. All right, so we're going to do our red and green stripes on these flip-flops. And I'm dipping my red into red paint. because I want the color red. I want the true red color, not the Posca pen color. So I'm just dipping it in there. And I think my red is like losing a little bit of its juiciness. And then I'm dipping the green into that Irish Moss. This is the Irish Moss color by Deco Art. That's become my favorite green. Glitter the Santa hat pieces. Oh, see? Yes, ma'am. You know I'm doing that. I am totally doing that. Okay, we're breaking out the glitter tonight, y'all. And I have new white glitter. I got a new, because I was running low on white glitter, and I also picked up some of that at Walmart. This is my white glitter that I got. This, oh, sorry, let me show it on this camera. So this is extra fine crystal diamond glitter. Oh, it's got a, that's just a magnet. I have some magnets like loose in my drawer from doing my little market stands. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. It's really super sparkly and pretty. Yeah, my little package of magnets opened up, and I need to go and get them out of there and make sure they're not sticking to everything. So yeah, tomorrow I'm on the search for a little a razor blade thing, like one of the safety ones that has the handle that I can scrape my desk and get these glue spots off. Because I think once I do that, this desk is going to be looking pretty good. And then maybe I can stay on top of it again. And all of these little clothes have holes in them so that we can hang them. And I'm going to use some twine to hang them at the end. And I'm not going to do a second coat on these flip-flops because, again, we're going for like the vintage, weathered look. And so I'm okay that they look a little streaky. These are the straps, and the straps are supposed to look like they have Christmas trees on them. I would like Christmas tree flip-flops. I think those would be super cute. So just so that it's obvious that they're Christmas trees, we'll paint the rest of the straps a different color. We'll do the red. Okay. So set those over here to dry, and then we need to do his little shorts. And I think I'm going to do those so it's like a matching set with the aqua color. So his swimming trunks and his little Hawaiian shirt match. Okay, so raise your hands if you like working with glitter. Where are my glitter girls at? Are you guys excited to do some glittering on the Santa hat? I think that's going to be super cute. So I think it was Jessica Hammond that told me that the Posca markers, they had more individual colors. I think she said Michael's, they had some individual colors that were not part of the the bigger sets. So I definitely need to go to Michael's and check that out because there's some colors that I'm on the lookout for. I definitely want some different shades of green that I don't currently have. So I think I'm going to head up there this week and check that out. I see a lot of hands getting raised for glitter. That's funny. Let's do white first before we do red. Coloring outside the lines. I'm going to have to go touch it up, y'all. I'm just outlining these shorts. This is when it really pays to have paint pens, for sure. And a black Sharpie is never a bad idea either. If you're using black Sharpies come in handy as well. They work great. Ooh, did anybody see that season 2 of Wednesday was released yesterday? Do you guys like the show Wednesday on Netflix from the Addams Family? We watched that. When did that come out? Was it over the holidays that it came out? And surprisingly, I was just not expecting to like it that much. It was really cute. It was really good. Y'all, I cannot say enough about this little red fine tip marker. I'm probably using a ton of ink out of it, using it for that little ho ho ho, but it is just the most vivid red, and it's just got the perfect ink flow. I don't know if these are on my storefront or not, to be honest with you, but if they're not, I'm going to have to put them on there. I will go back and link them in the comments when I get done, just to be sure. They're called Neotop. And this red is just, it's stunning. And it's so easy to stay in the lines. I mean, look at that. Oops. Look at that detail. It really is just, these are great markers. One of my followers recommended them. I think it was during a live one time, and I wish I could remember who it was, because they have been a great investment. And honestly, they weren't even that much money, and I've had the same set for a while. So if I had to order some new ones, I would not be upset, because this red, I think I'm going to need this red for all the upcoming holiday projects. I'm going to be using it a good amount. I'm normally not a fan of small projects with little things, little tiny things, but sorry, that noise is probably obnoxious. But this makes it easy. We're getting there, y'all. Now, if you wanted to just to omit the score lines on these little pieces of clothing, articles of clothing, and just do your own thing, do your own polka dots with sponge sticks, do your own little just freehand stripes, or, you know, whatever you want to do, or just paint them solid, you could totally do that if you're not into this time-consuming detail work, because I totally get that, especially if you're making these, like multiples of these. Right, I'm just going back and like touching up where I got outside the lines a little bit. All right, so let's distress that piece. can't get my distressing right tonight, y'all. I either have too much on my paintbrush or not enough. I don't know. Some nights it works better than other nights. I don't know what the deal is tonight. There we go. All right, so there's Santa's little weathered shorts, his little beach swimming trunks. So cute. And we can do the same thing with our flip-flops and give them a little weathered. Ooh, I like how that red weathered. That looks pretty cool. I don't know if y'all can see that on camera here with me. That's kind of cool the way that looks. And then we'll do the straps as well. Okay, I think everything is distressed. We need to do our lettering, but we also need to do our glittering. Oh, and we can put our little, sorry, there's a little piece of paintbrush on there. All right, let me see. This one, I believe, goes on this, yeah, on this flip-flop. You can just kind of tell which one goes on what, which flip-flop. Just hold them on there and you can kind of see the angle that you want. Make sure you're not covering up the holes to string them up. Okay, so there's our little Christmas flip-flops. Cute. Oh, that's not the lid for that. Let's glitter the pieces of our hat. All right, I had a piece of printer paper in here for glittering purposes. Where I had 2 pieces. Oh Lord, y'all, I just knocked over my bucket of puffy paint. I told you when I push stuff through one side of this table, it falls out the other side. All right, we got some printer paper. And I'm just going to fold this in half. Get a nice crease. And some white paint. Okay, so it looks like this white paint has a little turn thingy in here. I'm going to get this out first. Well, there we go. Oh, I don't want to break a nail. That is hard. Let's see if a pen will do it. There it goes. All right. So that should make glittering a little bit easier. That's a nice feature on that glitter. So you want to just make sure that you have a generous amount of paint on whatever you're glittering so that the glitter sticks. And you want to work fairly quickly because you don't want your paint to dry. All That's weird. That is not, oh, you know what it is? Y'all, it's my fan. My fan is blowing the glitter. Hold on, there we go. I was like, why is that pouring so crooked and crazy? It was just the fan blowing it. Duh. So there's our pretty glittery pieces for our hat. Aren't those cool? And then the reason why, which, you know, of course now I have glitter everywhere as usual because the fan was on. The reason why we do the paper is so we can just tap it and then just put it back in. So we don't waste a bunch of glitter. Let's close our little thingamabob here, our little turn thing. Okay. It's quiet now that the fan's off. All right, there's our hat. How cute and sparkly. And then the rest of the hat is kind of distressed. Okay. You could also glitter the bathing suit polka dots. That would be cute. Maybe green glitter polka dots on there. That'd be super cute. All right, another thing that I try to always do on my files, you guys, is to attach the dots and the apostrophes. Okay, so the dot on top of this I and the little apostrophe before the S, I try to attach those because there's nothing more annoying than when they fall through your honeycomb tray. Am I right? Drives me crazy. Okay, let me think for a minute here. So I'm going to do Baby It's Warm in white. And then do outside in the teal, like aqua sea breeze color. So I'm grabbing a sponge stick. This is just a small, maybe 3/4 inch. And of course, I'm going to get paint on my table that I just cleaned. I'm going to try not to, but I'm going to get paint on there. And I'm hoping I can get away with 1 coat of paint because I'm using the sponge stick. Because I hate painting letters. Not my favorite thing to paint. Does anybody cut their, like, paint their wood first and then cut their stuff out, like for letters? Are you that prepared for your projects? I am not. I don't plan ahead enough for that. I don't know what color I'm going to want to paint things until it's already cut. I can't. I mean, I guess if I was making like multiple of the same project and I knew what it was going to be painted, then I could do that. But I'm not doing that because I mostly make files. And if I make the projects, then I'm making them for y'all so y'all can see what they look like. And then I typically give them to people as gifts because I have sold a few. I don't sell many because I feel like since I'm painting them live, I'm not making them as perfect as I would if I was painting them not live because I'm trying not to like take forever. Do you know what I mean? And so I don't always go back and fix my edges as meticulously as I should. So I don't really sell a lot of finished pieces, but I did when I moved from my old house, where you lose the dot. Lose the dot. I did it again. I don't know what that's in reference to because I kept talking and now I'm like, what were we talking about? Lose the dot. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me know. Usually once y'all tell me, I'm like, oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. So when we moved from our old house, I went on the Facebook Marketplace thingy, the Facebook Marketplace. And I actually know. not Facebook Marketplace. I went on my neighborhood Facebook page. And I don't think a lot of my neighbors even knew that I made door hangers. I kept my laser in my garage. I kind of tried to keep it quiet, I guess, not bother people with it. A few people knew that lived close to me. But I went on there and I said, hey, you guys, if anybody wants these door hangers, you know, they're not perfect, but they're good enough for me to hang on my door and I sell them kind of thing. And I'm selling them all for $35 because really I knew a lot of those were worth more like 50 and 60. And I sold every one of them. People came and got them and left me cash on the porch. So it was nice to make a little extra cash to, you know, pay for some moving expenses. So that's always nice. Oh, the dot on the eye, or you lose the dot. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. See, now I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah, the little dots that fall through the honeycomb bed. Yeah, so I usually will end up like, I'll lose the dot, and then instead of cutting one dot, I'll go back and I'll cut like 3 or 4 because I know that I'm going to lose one at least or more. So at least I know I probably have one that's not going to fall through. But do you guys know about the aluminum foil trick? So if you put a piece of foil underneath your wood, now I don't know about glow. I've never done it with the Glowforge. I assume it's the same thing, but it will not fall through if you have a little piece of tin foil under there. But it's going to make the back of your piece, just that section wherever the foil is, it's going to make it. Oh, I was going to do blue. I totally got sidetracked. I'll still do blue. I'll just do blue on top of the white. It'll just make the blue pop. Thank you for telling me that. I wasn't even thinking. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, if you put the foil down, then the pieces won't fall through. But the back of your little dots will be scorched. But you know, who cares about the back, right? But I don't know whether it works with Glowforge because I don't know if I'm always worried that I'm going to tell you guys it's okay and then it's going to cause like a flame or something. So if you have a Glowforge and you've done that trick, I have a Glowforge, but it's in Virginia, so I can't test it down here. And I need to get it set up when I get home because I still haven't set it up since we moved, since I mostly use my Thunder. But let me know if you've done the foil trick and if it works. Because it works on my Thunder for sure. All right, so there's our outside. And I think we are just about done and ready to put everything together. I'm going to make room here so I can put it in front of me and y'all can see. Okay, so let's zoom back up and let's do our letters first. So our outside, make sure we have room for everything before we start gluing. Okay, so let me scoot my its over a little bit. And I always say, I like the shiplap lines because they help you line your letters up so your letters aren't crooked. So that always makes it easier. All right, so we're going to do a piece of twine. to hang up our clothes. So let me get a piece. I had to cut that in because it had a big, like, messed up part on it. All right, a little bit longer than we need. So this is like the thicker twine. Like, I don't know. This came with some beads that I ordered. So I don't really know the gauge to tell you. Like, this is really thin twine. So I'm not using like the really thin. This is actually hemp. I don't know where I got it. Who knows? Probably the dollar store maybe, or Walmart or something like that. And then this is twine. It's like a little thicker, like the jute kind of twine. That's what I am using. And we are just gonna sort of figure out where we want our pieces, and then we'll thread them all on there. So I want to space these two out because they're similar. So I want them, I don't want them like right next to each other. And I don't know. I think I have to have this one on the end because it's longer. All right, I don't want to mess up those dots. And let's see, maybe the hat down here and the little flip-flops in the middle. Like that, I think will work. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, y'all, I'm not gonna do all this on camera, but I am going to thread my thread through. So like here, I'll show you with the hat. I want the twine to show through. Whoops, no, wait a minute. No, I don't. I want this twine to be on the back. So I'm going to go down through this one and then up through this one. So I want my twine behind it because I don't want to cover up. Like on the shirt, it's not going to look right if the twine is in front. All right, maybe I will just go ahead and do this on camera. Here, let me see. I'm worried I'm going to mess up those polka dots. All right, so we're going to go down through the shirt and up through. Let me see if this works because I haven't done it on this one yet. Make sure that this works right with the, and then we're going to make it look like it's hanging, but it's actually going to be glued. Yeah, because we're going to need to go down through here and up through here so we don't cover up our little, get in there, our little Christmas trees. Oh my gosh, Tabitha, you're in New Kent? Oh my goodness gracious. So we are, there's a polka dot right here. I'm probably going to mess up a little bit. We are from Richmond. We are from Mechanicsville. So I've been to New Kent many times. We went to a winery when I was home last time, the New Kent Winery, right? Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, with my friends. We went up there, and it was beautiful. It was so nice. Yeah, you are not far at all from where we are from. Okay, so we got these all on here now. So what I'm going to do now is just tie a knot in the end, and I usually do a double knot. That's so crazy. What a small world. And we'll just cut the end of that off. And then the same thing down here. It is a very small world. You went to Atlee High School. My kids went to Hanover. That's so crazy. That is just, I mean, I can't believe that. That is crazy. I went to Godwin. My husband and I went to Godwin. Oh shoot, my little knot messed up. Dang it. Oh, so annoying. Here, I'll just tie it one more time. Try to make it look like it's not two knots that are not close enough to each other. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. All right, so then I'm just going to glue everything down. Make sure I got it where I want it. All right, I'm going to do the flip-flops first. I'm just going to lift them up and just flip them and do it that way. Because they really can just be like on the center. I'm going to push these down and just hold them for a minute. I've got glitter. The glitter's falling off the little hat. All right, I'm gonna have to set something on top of these, y'all, because of the twine is making them like not stay down. So they really need like a little weight on them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put glue on all of them. And the little hat and the bathing suit are gonna kind of hang off, and that's how I wanted it. So that's okay. I like elements that like hang off the side of door hangers. I just think it looks cute. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on here, and then I'm going to have to set something heavy on top. And what also works well when you've got an issue like this, I think, is to do your regular glue that you're going to use. So whether you're doing like Stick Fast or Star Bond or whatever glue you normally use for your door hangers and stuff. But also a little bit of hot glue. I don't have my hot glue plugged in, my glue gun plugged in right now. So yeah. All right. And then I'm going to glue my letters down, but then I'm also just going to kind of set something like a book. I'm going to make sure it's not touching my puffy paint down here though. That might just have to get another little bit of glue in the morning after it dries overnight. But anyway, I'm going to set something heavy on top of this and just make sure that like all these pieces stay down. But the hot glue, if you did a little hot glue and then a little of this, okay, because see, don't just do hot glue. And the reason I say that is because hot glue would work great initially. It would, you know, be a quick, easy way to get everything down. But what happens with hot glue is that if you're hanging this on somebody's front door and their front door gets direct sun or just a lot of heat, heat will melt glue like hot glue right off the door hanger. So you don't want to just have hot glue. You definitely want to have some sort of stronger, more resilient glue like Star Bond or Stick Fast in addition to the hot glue. So your hot glue is basically just to make it like hold in place while the other glue is drying. Okay, so that's just my hot tip for the night. All right, well, I'm going to go glue the rest of these letters down and I will post pictures, but this is our finished project for tonight. So this is our last bonus file, you guys. Make sure you join on Tuesday if you want all the bonus files, but you can still get this one by Friday, just FYI. And you can also, once you're in the group, I sell the bonus files to members only, but they don't get posted until 30 days later. And I don't sell them individually. So you'd have to purchase them as a bundle. So you don't want to, you know, already have like one or two of them and then have to purchase like the entire bundle. It's better just to go ahead and like get all four when you can get all four. So, and if you're already a member, you will get these files in your inbox on Tuesday morning because you automatically qualify for the bonus files. If you're a member, you automatically get them. So look for your email on Tuesday morning. Is there a certain time of the day Tuesday opens? So it's going to be like 7. I'm going to wake up first thing in the morning and turn it on. So it's going to be like 7 a.m. Probably a little bit earlier than that on the East Coast. Yeah, you don't want to just do hot glue on your front door. It will melt off eventually, especially down here in Louisiana. And I mean, Virginia too. Virginia, our porch got so hot in Virginia. Okay, guys, I'm going to get off here because it's been an hour and a half. And I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And I will see you for a new video on Tuesday. We'll be painting one of the patriotic files. So tune in for that. Talk to y'all later. Bye.